Hey guys, just wanted to post a quick response to my video, to my thread. Um, I know this is the difficult thread, so I'll leave it up to you whether or not you want to do it. I had to think about it. I couldn't decide whether or not to go with a classic that, maybe not everybody had heard or something a little more obscure. Um, and again, I'm not a music reviewer, and probably one of the most difficult things is to really try and convey um, the feeling that you get from music, even just trying to really describe the sound and pick the right words. It is hard to do. Um, I know some people have some really obscure stuff, so what you think you might pick out may not be obscure at all, and everybody might have it, and you just don't know. So there's a lot of things to consider, but like I said, no pressure. So like I said, I had to think about it, and what I came up with was this album by a band called Death. Now, these guys were around in 1975, so in a way they kind of predate punk, but yet they're I don't to me they sound just pure punk. I mean, these guys were three African Americans. They came up in Detroit around the time of the MC5 and the Stooges. Um, and while I do hear some elements of that, just their hard rock style that they had, um, they definitely had a sound all their own. To describe it, it's difficult. I mean, sometimes they sound like the Stooges, sometimes they sound like the Ramones, sometimes they sound like I think a Thin Lizzy sometimes. But they had one single that they put out. I did a little research on this band, and I read on Wikipedia that Clive Davis from Columbia Records actually supported this band, but at the time in 1975, a name like Death was just, wasn't really happening commercially. So Clive Davis wanted them to change their name, and they just refused. So I guess he dropped his support. So they instead self-released a single, and that was kind of it. They played and they broke up in 1977, and in 2009, obviously long after the band broke up, um, who is this? Drag City put together some of their recordings and put out this album, Death, for the whole world to see. And this is just a fantastic album. If you like punk, if you just like heavy um, rock stuff, I can't recommend this enough. It's again three brothers, David, Bobby, and Dennis Hackney, and these guys were just phenomenal. Sometimes I even think of the Bad Brains. I mean, besides the fact that they're black, but they played so fast, and I mean probably not as fast as the Bad Brains, but they played pretty damn fast. And the first time I listened to this, I immediately thought of the Ramones. Only they're more melodic. Some of their lyrics are just like spat out real fast, and other parts of songs, they sing like a chorus, and just definitely more melodic, I think. Um, some great songs: "Keep on Knocking," "Rock and Roll Victim," "You're a Prisoner," "Freaking Out," "Politicians in My Eyes." Um, you can look these guys up on YouTube and see their videos. I guess one of the brothers had passed away from cancer, and these guys, they I guess they moved up to Vermont and they formed a reggae band, but they had no idea that their recordings were really catching fire. Um, and once they heard about it, I guess that's when they went to talks to put out this recording, and I guess they actually reunited and played the two remaining brothers and played. And I guess there's talk of next year they're gonna release some other recordings and demos on an album, either from around this period or that predates it. I just think it's really interesting that in 1975 there was a band that played probably almost as fast as the Ramones, if not just as fast at that time. And they're so I don't know how many people know about this band. Um, I mean, they must be still relatively obscure. I'd heard about them years ago, a friend had heard about them and told me, and I'm like, boy, I wonder what they sound like. And I saw this at the record store, and immediately, as at the record store, usually I go through and look at everything, and if I'm gonna get a few things, I'll I'll go back and make up my mind, and I'm one of those shoppers. But I saw this, and I just immediately grabbed it. I had no idea what that, I'd heard what they sound like. Somebody described it to me, but I never actually heard them. So, and I just totally took a risk, and I couldn't be more happy with this. Again, obviously, this came out in 2009. It's, there is no original, This was recorded in 75, and it came out in 2009. I can't remember the one single that they had. It might have been Freaking Out or You're a Prisoner, one of those maybe. I could be wrong. But again, Death for the whole world to see. Fantastic album. I can't recommend it enough. Like I said, hopefully some of you guys maybe never heard of this band and looking for something new to check out. It's really good. Definitely give it, if you like punk, this is, like I said, it just blows me away that these guys were, playing punk in 75, and it wasn't for at least, 2 years later that punk really started to pick up a little more speed. I mean, so, again, these guys are from Detroit, and just a phenomenal band. I actually heard that their sons actually got together and formed like almost a tribute band to play these songs, and they also have their own originals too. I forget what they're called, but anyway, again, Death. Check them out. Hopefully you guys will respond to this. If not, that's cool too. I mean, this is difficult, and yeah, I mean, you can make the videos as long or as short as you want. There's really no rules. So, thanks for watching, guys, and take care.